Ooh, he is persistent. He came all the way up on the shore to try to get me. What is up, YouTube? We are now beginning to witness the completion of some major mod projects. And it all begins with De-Extinction 2.0. Yes, this project, 9 years total in the making, is complete. And we're going to talk about what's next for the future of Subnautica mods, what to expect later this year, and, oh yeah, 4 other amazing new mods. So let's get started. Are you tired of having to get in and out of your prawn suit to change the arms? This is the prawn suit arm switcher. This is by the modder Cookie, and it is literally so genius that I can't help but wonder why the original game did not already come with this option. So here, we want to switch arms. We don't have to get out. We press 1 or 2, and we can immediately swap over to anything that we want. Go back to the regular punch. We can go back to our grapple arm. And then we can, just press 2, and we can load up the propulsion cannon on our right side. It is perfect. This is a must-have for any playthrough. And again, I don't know why the game did not originally come like this, but this mod is up for testing in the testing phase. It is available for download in the Subnautica modding Discord located under test builds. So here's a mod that not only is useful, but adds a whole bunch of extra decorations for your base. This one is called Composite Buildables, and it is by the modder Nary Believe. So I'm going to start off by showing you the Degassi planters. These are absolutely beautiful. Like, immediately just adds a whole bunch of color to your room. Wow. So now we have, and then we have the round. Now, I actually prefer the round version. I think that this one looks good, like in the center of the room as soon as you walk in. First of all, you're going to want to put this in a room with a dome, because if you don't, then the plant is going to clip into the ceiling and it's going to look kind of funky. So over here, now you'll notice you can pick the lantern fruit. So what you're going to want to do is you're going to go into options, and you can look at Composite Buildables here, and you can have a simple buildable complexity which only requires titanium. And then if you go to standard, then it will require lantern fruit and titanium. But if you want to go for a more logical, you want your game to make more sense, you go for the complex recipe. And then you have to, it requires all of the seeds of what you are seeing right here in order to build it. So even though you can't really, I don't think you can knife any of these, you can't get any of them out there, they're just for decoration. But to make perfect sense, then you would, want to have it to where you have to have the more complex recipe. Now, here is something else that is really super cool with this mod. Let's go on to the next thing that we can make. Here we got the mushroom terrarium. There's a small one. Okay, so now these, at first glance, I thought, well, maybe these are just for decorations. But you can actually set it to where these will give you mushrooms over time. See, you can you can tweak the lantern fruit spawn time, but these terrariums will give you mushrooms that will overflow into your bioreactor. So, of course, I don't have one in the room, but these, once they spawn, they will instantly be teleported into your bioreactor. Is that not so cool? So, I mean, yeah, why would you not want to have this in your base? It would be a self-sustaining amount of energy. When we have the lab shelving unit, which I think this is probably one of my favorite, decorations for a base in general. Look at this. I don't know, if you can pick up the bleach or anything. I think it's just there for looks. But again, you can tweak this in your mod options if you don't feel like you should have to use bleach and everything else to make that. You can simplify it in mod options to have it to where it just requires titanium, because in my opinion, if you're gonna, require benzene, hydrochloric acid, lubricant, and all that to make this, then you should be able to get it from the unit. Now here we also have the Science Bench 2. Let's put you over here. Okay, and again, these two are just for looks. These are just decorations. I don't believe that these actually do anything, but they look super cool. I wonder what that says. I believe these are models directly from the Aurora, but yeah, look at, all it took was this one mod, and this entire room is not only useful, but it is beautiful. And I don't think that the lantern fruit spills over into the bioreactors, only the mushrooms do, but still, that is a self-sustaining amount of energy, an extremely beautiful and useful mod. Bulbasaur 66 has brought us another really cute aircraft that can actually fly and be used as a submersible. But look at the back here, like, wow, that is beautiful. It kind of gives me like a Star Trek warp nacelle kind of vibes, but this thing definitely does. It's called the Seabee. It definitely looks like a bee. It's like got like little wings. I can just hear the bzzz. But let's get in this one. But things are going to be a little bit different, guys, because now we have a new mod called the Aircraft Lib. Now what this does is it changes the way that you fly around through the air. And I'm going to be honest, this takes a little bit of getting used to. Like, you can actually do a barrel roll. Do a barrel roll! Oh man, that takes some getting used to. Now you have to use your controls, your ASWD to kind of like, oh, okay, yeah. Oops, dang it. See, I'm still having a hard time getting used to this. Like, once you get the hang of it, you're like, oh, okay, yeah, that's easy. But it still takes a little bit of getting used to. It kind of turns Subnautica into an aircraft simulator in a way, but this one does not require you to press a button to activate the flight mode, which I thought was kind of ridiculous in the beginning anyway. I want to point out that we do have, now a lot of you of course probably are wondering, why do we have flying vehicles? So we have a few secret mods in the works that are actually going to be adding floating islands to the game. Yes, they're going to be adding all kinds of things, creatures that attack you from the air, possibly even ancient bases in the air, who knows? I mean, everything is still in the concept phase right now, but we will, I know for a fact, be getting content that will give us a reason to go in the air. It's going to be crazy. You guys are going to love it. If you've seen any of Insomnia's videos, you probably have already seen this. This is called the Eureka, and it is exactly what you think it is. It's an airplane. Let's take a look at this in free cam mode here. All right, now the only thing I don't like about this one is it doesn't have an interior. There is really no interior to look at. There's no way you can build storage inside of it or place anything on the inside. So it's really, once you click on it, you immediately get in. But wow, look at this. It's got the turbine engines here. Let me move a little bit faster. It's a big vehicle, so I would really like it if they did add a interior that you could walk around inside of. But yeah, so we're going to check this out, and we're going to see how fast this thing can go. All right, let's go. Now this one has wheels, so I should be able to... I should have built a runway, but we will have runways on the Floating Islands mod, just so you know. Ooh, let's make myself dizzy here. But yeah, one thing I was going to point out is that on the Floating Islands mod, they are going to have a air version of the floaters. Now, you know, the floater is what holds up the floating island that's in the water, but we're going to have a air version of the floater that holds the islands up in the sky, so that way it makes more sense, because, well, floating islands, you know, aren't really possible. But okay, I'm taking damage even at 80 meters. Let's move up here. It's still taking damage. Wow, okay. So apparently you can't go into the water at all. Or you could at least float on the surface. So yeah, well, it kind of is a little bit buggy when I go into free cam mode. That's crazy. But anyways, you get the point. Until we have some mods that actually add floating islands in the air, you're not going to really have a whole big use for this. I know Insomnia found a way to incorporate it into his mod that he's with the Red Plague, and it was really interesting. But until then, you know, it's just a really cool airplane to have a little bit of fun with. Guys, the moment you have all been waiting for is finally here. Okay, well, maybe not Return of the Ancients, but De-Extinction has been brought over to 2.0. And that is some incredibly good news for all of us, because Lee23 has confirmed that now that this project is done, he is able to focus all of his attention onto Return of the Ancients to get it complete. But It looks to me like there have been some major improvements. I mean, major. Look at the way his movements are. They look so much more polished. Did that biter just attack the... So first we have the Stellar Thalassian. Now this one you have probably seen already. This one is completely harmless. It is a filter feeder, and this one is a dark look. It almost looks like the night sky in a way. It's a very beautiful model, and this one makes a very interesting sound. Oh wow, that is a creepy sound. Now also we have the Jasper Thalassian. Now this one I believe was probably more intended for below zero because this game is ported into both versions. It definitely looks more like a cold water species in my opinion. It kind of also gives me a little bit of a kind of like a killer whale kind of vibe. The black and white two-toned. Looks like it might even have... No, maybe not. It doesn't have any bioluminescence. But this one does. This one has bioluminescence. Oh wow, it even kind of changes color. I never noticed that. We have the Grand Glider. Now this one, of course, you've seen before if you've played De-Extinction. Hard to say what this reminds me of. It definitely looks ancient. It looks like something you would see like in the Jurassic era. But it's got the 3 eyes here. Let's go to speed 0. And then it's got all of these bristles here that are moving. Let's see if we can speed it up 0.5. Look at the animations on that. It is just absolutely beautiful. Lee23 has done an amazing job with this. It's so smooth. Alright, so now this one is a smaller species. It's got like the 4 eyes. It kind of reminds me a little bit of something I've seen on Metroid. Some of their, quote, scrapped or unused content. So this was pretty much basically original Unknown Worlds art, but they decided not to use it. And thanks to Lee23, we now have all of these amazing creatures in the game. So let's check out the next one. Several different versions of the pincherfish. This one's got, yeah, his stripes are a little bit different. Okay, yeah, I see the stripes are different colors as well. Blue, like one's sapphire, one's ruby. Alright, now you all know the Gulper Leviathan. Now, that roar sounded different to me, in my opinion. I don't know if they... Get back over here. I don't know if they changed up his roar. But wow, you know, and one thing I want to point out is his teeth. His teeth are now purple. They were a different color. I think they were yellow on the previous Legacy version. Oh, I forgot. I got the zombie textures on here. Let's see if they fight. Oh, they do. They definitely don't like each other. And now look at that. He's got that back... that back slice. He attacks you with his front pincers. There we go. Yeah, so they come in either adult or baby form. So, yeah, the babies are pretty cute, but don't... Are they attacking each other? The babies are fighting the adults? Well, that's... We can't have that. That's no good. One right here is called the Ribbon Ray. Pretty cool animations. I wonder if this one is... Yeah, this one has some bioluminescent stripe right down the side. Beautiful. It kind of reminds me of a Neon Tetra in a way. I really love that one. And who could forget this guy? Now, this one is called the Twist Steel. Sort of looks like the stalkers in the kelp zone, but he's a little bit more thin. And look at those teeth. Like, oh, man, you do not want to get bit by that. But in my opinion, I think he looks a lot more natural in Subnautica Below Zero. His colors being light purple and white. He definitely kind of resembles more of a cold water species, but you will see this in Below Zero as well if you download De-Extinction for Below Zero. Now the Filt Orbs, these can be caught and actually converted into water, much like the bladderfish. But what they do is they have a protective shell. Now look, that looks really neat. I've never actually looked at this with 0 speed. So they look to me like they're filter feeders, kind of like a coral. Look at that. They have a fan that they stick out and they grab stuff and then they bring it back in to eat it. Really genius. I mean, it's a genius design. And then, of course, if you try to pick them up with the outer shell in place, then you won't be able to pick them up. You can't eat them like that. It's kind of sort of like a clam when you think about it. Now, this one has bioluminescence as well. Now, I think this one is a new one. This one's called a floral Filtorb, and it's basically the same thing, but this one has a green color texture to it, so it will be more of a plant species, I guess. It's got like a purple interior. And yes, the floral Filtorb cooked provides 26 to food and 18 to H2O. Wow. This one is called the Jelly Spinner, and it is fully edible, of course. Now, it probably is most likely all water. Yeah, very interesting species. Now, a lot of you probably remember the triangle fish, and in the older De-Extinction, this one did have some little bit of a messed up animations. It was always kind of flipping all over the place, but it seems to me that the animations and the AI behavior on this one is back to normal. It seems much more polished. Look at the way it's moving. But this has to be my favorite new creature. Now, this is something new to De-Extinction. This one is, if I'm going to pronounce it right, the Pyrambasis, I believe I'm saying it right. Now, this one has a transparent body, kind of like a ghost Leviathan in a way. But look at this. Wow, it's beautiful. It's got a RGB, like multicolored bioluminescence. Let's check this out at night. Oh, man. That is beautiful. Now, let's go to speed 0.5. Let's look at the animations. Wow, he did such a good job with this. Now, I don't know exactly if this thing attacks or not. I'm going to have to find out. Do you guys attack? Okay, yeah, I'm taking some kind of damage. I can't help but wonder if they're poisonous. Like, I don't see the poison animation, but see, I'm not getting attacked by their... Yeah, he definitely attacked. Okay, yeah, but they're not really doing a whole lot of damage. So, yeah, they will attack you, but they're not really that much of a threat. I mean, they don't have a mouth, obviously, that can, you know, eat you. Let's see a size comparison. Just a comparison from the body of this right here to the player. Now, I don't really see a mouth. I mean, I'm going to assume that these are like a filter feeder, so they don't really... I'm sure if it really tried, I think he probably could squeeze your body in there, but that's not really the kind of creature that would eat a human, I don't think. I think they're filter feeders and they probably attack you for self-defense, but yeah, they don't really do a whole lot of damage. And finally, we have what Lee23 named the Dragonfly. This, of course, is one of the concepts for the flying birds that we saw many years ago that was scrapped. Beautiful on the top. Really neat looking. So let's check out some of the animations. Okay. I can't even hardly keep up with them. But yeah, these aren't exactly creatures that you are going to be interacting with. These are just going to be birds that you see flying around in the air. There's the wings moving around. So yeah, they're mostly birds that glide around. But you will see them flying around in the air, and that gives, you know, a little bit more life to what you see in the sky. But yeah, it's really cool to see these creatures finally brought into the world of Subnautica where they belong. Whew. Just to show you guys, this is actually in below zero. We got the twist eels, the gulper leviathan. All of these creatures can be spawned in Subnautica below zero as well. So yeah, pretty cool, pretty cool. I can't wait to see more in the future. Lee23 does say that he promises he wants to keep the mod updated. He has a few more creature concepts that he would like to add to this mod, but for right now, he is focusing... Ooh, that was a weird sound. He is focusing 100% of his attention on Return of the Ancients to get that rolled out, and then maybe later on, he will be adding more to this mod right here. But yeah, check it out. De-Extinction for Below Zero and Subnautica 1. Wait, did he just die? Something just killed him. Like, maybe it was a cold water. So what about the future of mods, guys? Well, we know that with De-Extinction out of the way, we know that Return of the Ancients will be the next major project that Lee23 is working on. And as far as Call of the Void goes, Aki has said that some of the modders have had some in real life issues getting in the way, so that's kind of slowed down production a little bit. So we have a lot to look forward to with Call of the Void. It is being consistently worked on every day, And I do know from some of the leaks that one of the modders said that they are working on a Shoreback Leviathan. Now, me and a friend of mine, we're working on a Voidback Leviathan concept. But they call it a shoreback. Now, I don't know if it's going to be open water, or does that mean that it kind of hides around the shores of the islands? I don't know. I can't wait to see what that's going to be. But now, the future of mods, it does not look like it's slowing down anytime soon. In fact, we're seeing more and more projects rolling out. And a lot of people are thinking, well, when Subnautica 2 comes out, what's going to happen to the modding scene? Well, keep in mind that Subnautica 2, the early access is not going to be out until the beginning of 2025. So here we are in April. We still have almost an entire year left to go. And then when Subnautica 2 early access does come out, that will be still in the early access phase for at least a year, possibly even 2. So we have at least 2.5 years of time until Subnautica 2 comes out. And that really depends exactly on how successful Subnautica 2 is. Only time will tell that unless Unknown Worlds opens up mod support for that game, then mods might not even be possible. But I do think that they will. It's just that the modders that we know are going to have to learn a whole new engine to adapt to modding that game, and it's possible we might even see a whole new crew of different modders. This game and this modding scene, believe me, it's not going to die off anytime soon. In my opinion, like Skyrim is going to be a classic. It's going to be a very heavily modded game for many years to come. And I've even got a few mod projects and ideas that I want to commission the modders to do for myself that I would like to release. I've got so many cool ideas. Check it out if you haven't seen my video. 4 amazing mod concepts that I would like to bring into Subnautica. So, hope you enjoyed. Peace out, guys.